Thanks for stopping by. You have one of these Sonatas and your airbag light is on. I'm going to show you how to fix it today. In order to take on a repair like this, you're going to need one of these scanners. This one here, this RD Diag 500S, is about $170. It's a little expensive, but imagine what it would cost you if you took it to a repair shop. So first thing I'm going to do is start the car and see if I can get some codes. So I'm going to do some diagnosis, auto search. It'll scan the VIN for you. Alright, you'll see I have a red light there, so let's see. Airbag. Read fault code. Driver airbag resistance too high. Let's see if we can troubleshoot this. So I'm going to go back, read the data stream, current data, and I want to get all these resistance readings so I can see what's going on. Click OK. And it's giving me the readings right now. None of these look too bad. This first one here, driver's airbag first resistance, is a little bit high. But as I turn the steering wheel, it changes drastically. It's all over the place. So that leads me to my clock spring is bad. So I'm going to order a clock spring and I'll show you how to change it. All right, the first thing you want to do is disconnect your battery, and when you're disconnecting a battery, always disconnect the negative side first. A way you might actually be able to get this fixed for free is go onto the Google machine and search for Hyundai Sonata clock spring recall, and you'll get a website. Click on that website, enter your VIN, and it'll let you know if Hyundai can fix the car or not at no expense to you. My car is actually covered, but I'm gonna do it myself anyway because I can't get an appointment for at least a month. So I just ordered the part and I'm gonna just change it myself. It's not that hard to do. Towards the top of the steering wheel on either side, there's a little tiny hole. You need to get a screwdriver. I'm using a number 1 Phillips, and you push that in there and there's a release pin in there that's going to let the airbag come loose. You just slide it in and give it a little push. And like I said, there's one at the bottom also. And once you push those 3 buttons, you'll be able to take this and turn it over and disconnect the airbag. You lift up these orange things, and I was able to get under there with my fingernail. You don't want to use a metal tool for this. I have a plastic, I guess, screwdriver, I don't know, from changing cell phone screens, but you don't want to use a metal tool to do this, just in case. You don't want to short something out and have that airbag go off. Then you have a clip here that holds the harness in place. You want to release that clip, get the harness off, and now you can take these connectors off. And then you have this little white connector down here. I guess that's for the horn. Pull that off. And now you can set your airbag to the side. These are the little spring-loaded things that you're going to be pushing on to release the airbag. Alright, so I moved those airbag wires out of the way. Now I'm going to disconnect this white terminal right here. You just give it a squeeze and pull it out. Now I need to take this nut loose. That's a 22mm socket. And I'm just going to and a lock washer. Now if you're lucky, you'll be able to pull this off without a puller. Let's see. There we go. Before you take your steering wheel off, it's a good idea to mark where it is on the spline, because there's no keyway on this. You can take this thing off and put it on any way you want. So I'll definitely mark it before you take it off. Now we need to get this plastic stuff off of here. 2 Phillips screws here. Looks like it might also be 10 millimeter, but I have this in my hand. And there's also 1 screw on the bottom. You're going to have to wiggle this part around the ignition key. And then work it off the handle that locks the steering in place. Drop the steering down, this piece just comes right out. Now we need to change this. This is the clock spring right here. This is the part that's bad. Looks like you just pull it off, and then there's a couple of connectors on the bottom. And here's the 2 connectors you need to pull off. The white one, you give it a squeeze, pull it back. And the yellow one looks like you have to slide a tab back. There we go. So you have to slide that back as you pull it off. I got my replacement direct from Hyundai. I'll put a link to the Hyundai parts as well as the aftermarket parts. It's up to you, decide what you want to get. I went with the factory part because it's my daughter's car. This controls the airbag and a lot of other things. Didn't want to take a chance. So I'm going to slide this on and it should clip in place. So now I'm just going to plug these 2 harnesses in. There's a yellow one. There's a white one. Now I need to pull this out and lower it down. Get the top piece on. Get the bottom piece on. Those 3 screws back in. Now I can feed this through the top. And get the steering wheel back on, lined up with my marks I made. I'm not really sure what this is for, but plug in that white harness, lock washer, nut. Click. Connect the white terminal right here. These terminals are color coded. You got one that's got green on it and one that's all yellow. So I guess the one with the green on it goes here, and the one with the yellow on it goes here. That kind of makes sense. Snap in your locks, put your harness back in the holder and clip it shut, and put your airbag on. Be careful you don't pinch your wires, and you should just push on. That didn't take long at all, maybe 20 minutes. The hardest part of this whole job is going to be listening to my daughter about reprogramming the radio stations. Okay, and there you can see all my settings look good. Turning the steering wheel and it's not fluctuating. I think we're good to go.